All right guys, welcome back. Here's a great putting video. I'm going to walk through all the major pieces of putting for those of you maybe a beginning golfer, intermediate golfer, or even an advanced golfer that wants a recap and to look over their putting technique, make sure it looks really nice. So in this video, we're going to go over the entire thing and we're going to start out from the grip. I think this is probably one of the most important things, especially for beginning golfers. The tendency is to hold it kind of like we would hold a full swing where it's down in our fingers. If I was to open up this hand, you would see that's running more down my fingers. The meaty part of my hand would be on top of the grip. Well, in putting, we want to take your lifeline. So if you look at the inside of your hand, there's this crease that goes from the base of your index finger knuckle right there and runs up between the two pads on the bottom of your hand. Now, if I look at my putting grip, the top of my grip, I want to put the corner of that grip right into that crease in my hands. So now the putter is running at more of an angle with my hand there. So when I do that, you'll see it looks something like this, where now the putter's running up between my hands. So that's that meaty part of the hand on top of the grip. Now it's going to be more on the side of the grip or underneath. So what this allows me to do is it allows me to kind of lock in my wrist. You'll notice that also my thumb is kind of running down the top of the grip. It's a little bit sideways. It's not perfectly down the top like this. It's a little sideways, but it's mostly running down the top, and I got that lifeline in there. So that's going to lock my wrist in this way rather than having the grip more in my fingers and creating this kind of an angle. So now my putter shaft is running a bit more down my forearm, an extension of my forearm. My right hand, all I'm going to do is put it on the putter. You can do a multitude of grips, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to position that in a way where it's lined up with my left forearm there. So if I wanted to go, left hand low, which would be like this, if I just take that hand off, that would still be running down the crease of my lifeline there on the crease of my putter. So this is left hand low, and again you can see I still have those forearms lined up with the putting shaft. So that's the big key there. That's a nice way to grip the putter. We could even do a claw grip where we do something like this. That left hand is still on there, very, very similar. So no matter which specific type of grip you use, we want to have that overall idea. Forearms lined up with the putter shaft and that lifeline lined up with the corner of the grip there. So from there, let's go ahead and take our stance. So if I'm going this direction, I want to have a stance that's comfortable. Some players set up with a stance that's really wide like this, and it just seems a little bit, unathletic, or almost like you're ready to start moving around, going in different directions. I guess you could say it's a little too athletic even. But we don't want to get in a position like this typically. I mean, you could putt like this. It's not the end of the world. But we're going to tend to not be as rhythmic when we're in a position like this. This is a very powerful position. It makes me want to feel like I'm going to move around a lot. I want to go ahead and have my feet just kind of like if I was standing and talking to somebody, about that far apart. If you wanted to put them a little closer, that's fine. If it gets real windy outside, if you get a real close stance like this, you could get kind of blown over. So anywhere in that range is going to be fine. What about ball position? Now, what I like to think of is I'm going to hit the back of this ball. If I drew a line from the back of that ball, that's going to be about in the center of my stance, or even a little bit up toward the front of my stance, is very, very slightly. The reason for this is if I want to hit the ball really well, if I want to get that nice end-over-end roll, get that ball rolling across the green really smoothly, my putter actually needs to be moving up in a vertical direction as it's hitting the ball. So my putter head is actually moving up this way as I'm hitting the ball. I have a little bit less loft on the face, and that's going to get a good topspin roll on it. So that brings me to my next piece, which is once I have the back of the ball in the center or a little tiny bit up, now how much forward shaft lean? If I get a lot of forward shaft lean, I could pop that ball into the ground and it's going to start bouncing. If I have too much forward shaft lean, so if I have so much to where it's a negative angle, now I can get that ball to launch up in the air and start bouncing on the green. I want that ball to roll end over end. So I want to go ahead and just get just enough forward shaft lean to where my left wrist is feeling pretty locked in. That's a good key to have. And then I'm feeling like I'm a little bit behind the ball, like my eyes are looking down the target line. Now, if I'm looking from this way, down the target line, I would like to have my eyes pretty close to being over top of the ball. I don't want my eyes way back in here, so if I dropped a ball, from the center of my eyes, I don't want it way back in here 5 or 6 inches inside of this, and I definitely don't want it to where I'm so far over that if I dropped a ball, it would be outside of the target line. I'd like for that, again, I'm going to be set up slightly behind it. Kind of imagine Jack Nicklaus a little bit behind it, not to that extreme, but I'm looking down the target line, and if I'm dropping a ball between my eyes, it's going to be somewhere there over the line. Eyeline Golf, hence the name, has a great putting mirror, and I go over some great drills in the Top Speed Golf putting system on the website where we have a little putting mirror down here, and I can show you some drills to work on that to get your eyes lined up perfectly. So now our stance is good. We have a good grip. We have a good ball position. All that's looking really nice. How do you want to feel like what's going on with the stroke? I'm going to give you a little bit of a pro tip here. I mean, I could tell you just to rock the putter back and forth, just in a nice gentle arc, almost imagine like a grandfather clock, to where it goes up and then down and through. So it's almost like just doing this. But that's not really how the best putters in the world putt. That's not bad. You could putt pretty good doing this. You're going to eliminate a lot of 3 putts. You'll probably make a lot of the putts that you're supposed to make. But if I want to make a ton, again, I need to get that kind of top spin roll on there. If you watch the best putters in the world, what they're going to do is they're going to have that putter slightly lower to the ground on the backstroke, and as they come through, because I said that putter's moving up, then as I come through, that putter's going to get a little bit higher on the ground. Now, I'm not trying to make it go really high like this. I'm not trying to artificially push it low, but all I'm doing is I'm taking my left elbow and my left shoulder, and I'm letting it round under, because I have some forward shaft lean. Again, because I have some forward shaft lean here, this is locked in. As it rounds under, that's going to keep it fairly low to the ground. As I come on through, that's going to rock up, and that's going to take it higher off the ground. So for example, if I had no forward shaft lean and I was here, and I had my hands side by side like this, and I rocked under, then I would get off the ground. With forward shaft lean, and because my left shoulder's higher at address, as I rock back, it's going to stay lower to the ground. So this is going to rock under, and then I'm going to feel like I'm putting top spin on the ball, almost like the back left of my hand. Like I said, it's nice and locked in there, and I'm going to let that roll toward the target, like the back of the hand just moving toward the target in the follow through. So I'm not very handsy when I'm doing that. I'm just keeping everything kind of locked in and letting it roll. Now finally, I want this putter shaft to release a little bit. As I come back, I'm going to feel a little bit of this. This is my backstroke. Imagine there's a slight little angle. I'm going to feel that putter with momentum kicking forward that way. This is the sensation that I'm going to get from my hand. So let's imagine my hand was dead still. I would feel that putter head kicking forward, kicking toward the cup in the distance. So as I release this putter, it's going to release toward my target. I'm going to have a little bit of rotation on the face. If that's straight up and down, I'm going to have a little bit of rotation going back and through, not very much though. It's going to be a nice, gentle, small arc. Again, I'm not trying to manipulate the rotation of the putter. It's going to arc back and through. So now let's put it to the test. It's all good to say, okay, we need to do all these things, but can I really putt? That's what we're really wondering now. This guy talks a lot, but can he putt at all? Let's go ahead and knock down about 5 or 6 balls. I'll see if I can make 5 or 6 12-footers in a row for you guys and show you the technique. All right, guys, so one of the things that we want to concentrate on is making sure that we're hitting it nice and slow. I don't want to have a lot of speed on it. That way, if it does happen to catch one of the lips, it's actually going to fall in instead of lipping out. A lot of times I'll see players that are lipping out a lot and they think that they're getting the wrong line, when in reality they're just hitting too hard. Obviously I have to hit hard enough to get there, but I recommend around 6 inches to 12 inches past the cup is a pretty good place to aim. So that's a really good thing to keep in mind as you're putting. I also don't want to putt it very hard because my camera, which is about $1,200 camera sitting behind it, I don't want to break the lens on that for sure. So this is a good way, put something valuable back there, and that'll keep you from really ramming it as you practice. Put a little pressure on you. So here's my 6th putt. See if I can drain this last one. All right, guys, best of luck. Go out there and make some putts. All right, guys, hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got an awesome bonus for you. We all want lots of lag in our golf swing. It's so crucial to have tons of lag to be able to get that high club head speed and to be able to drive it past your friends. I'm going to play a preview from one of my most important golf lag videos. If you're on a desktop device, you can go ahead and click the link that pops up on your screen. If you're on a phone or a tablet, you go ahead and click the iCard, and you're going to get instant access to that video. Plus, you're going to get instant access to 5 videos from our Top Speed Golf system. Good luck to you guys. Go out there and rip the ball. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see, and in this drill what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be.